Master Chef.
Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl, think twice, you can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug, and for certain she not gonna leave. Ah yeah, she stuck to me. Ah yeah, she not gonna leave. My girl, she choosing me. I shot like Benzema, bend it like Ronaldinho. Plenty man on you like Cantona. Me, I go save you like a Nyama. Girl, you know you're extraordinary. Body so tight, you don't need no time me talking. And it's only me, she calling papi. And you can only catch me with the foreign. She foreign like Mercedes. Hope the staring drive me crazy. Red light and she still wanna go. Can you the totally me times two? She not really send nobody. She hitting on my line, she needing company. I mean, listen up close. You gon' be safe with me tonight. Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl, think twice, you can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug, and for certain she not gonna leave. Ah yeah, she stuck to me. Ah yeah, she not gonna leave. My girl, she choosing me every time. For certain, already on my way to the curtain. Oh, I love it. You start to help me under the button, so sexy girl, say you know my style. So you have to make me want it, and I never leave you. Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl, think twice, you can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug, and for certain she not gonna leave. Ah yeah, she stuck to me. Ah yeah, she not gonna leave. My girl, she choosing me every time. Fire brigade, I need someone to come extinguish this fire. Get you burning up, and I gotta cool you down. Fire brigade, I need someone to come extinguish this fire. Get you burning up, and I gotta cool you down. Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl, think twice, you can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug, and for certain she not gonna leave. Ah yeah, she stuck to me. Ah yeah, she not gonna leave. My girl, she choosing me every time. Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl, think twice, I can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug, and for certain she not gonna leave. Ah yeah, she stuck to me. Ah yeah, she not gonna leave. My girl, she choosing me every time.
Hello guys, welcome to Boxing Blog Center, the home of Nigerian and African boxing. And please, if you're new to this channel, make sure you click the like and of course the subscribe button right now, and also go to the notification bell icon, click it and select all so to open your banger a new exclusive video. You will definitely be notified. We are of course live right here with the Nigerian Hurricane 6'9" heavyweight monster Raphael Akpejiori. I want to first of all say, my brother, thanks, big thanks to you for coming to the show. I appreciate you, bro. I mean, yeah, amazing, man. Nice to have you here on BBC. I guess all of you guys can hear us right now. How's everything, bro?
Everything's going well. How you doing, man? How's everything with you?
Yeah, I mean, we're good right here. I want to say thanks for coming to the show. I appreciate it. I have a brother as well, yeah. Isioma. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey, so fine, thank you. And good to be on this broadcast. Welcome to Boxing Block Center, Raphael Akpejiori, the Nigerian Hurricane, one whom we are very, very delighted in and proud of. Welcome.
Yeah, brother, that's definitely right. You're right for that. The Hurricane, I mean, Nigerian Hurricane, like your last fight. I mean, I was expecting more of a showdown in a way. It wasn't what we expected because the guy fed your power and just decided to retire and said, "Oh man, I cannot. I mean, I can't do this anymore. This guy punches harder like a rock, man. This guy is too powerful. Like, what is going on? What went on in your mind?" Because I knew you. You know, when we talked, you told me that you want to have more runs. You know, you want to like. You don't just want to go there and blow people out normally like that. You just want to like now, get more runs. You know, on your radar. So what was going on when you saw the guy pulled out? You know, what was going on in your mind at that particular time?
I mean, I'm never going to not take a knockout if the knockout comes. If the knockout comes, I mean, I don't fight to get knockouts. I just go in there and fight and try to get better and show the skills that I've learned over the course of maybe a 6 or 8 week training camp. Unfortunately, the guy that I fought was not the guy that I had planned to fight for. I would say a better part of 10 weeks. You know, the guy that I was supposed to fight, Jason Bergman, he's a much better fighter, a southpaw, a very durable guy, a guy who's gone with world champions. He's fought Joseph Parker, he's fought Christian Thune, he's fought Frank Sanchez. You know, he's a guy that would have given us the opportunity to at least go the distance. At least we expected him to go at least 3 to 5 rounds. Unfortunately, he pulled out the week of the fight. I think he pulled out on the Tuesday or the Wednesday of the fight. So the guy that we fought was more of a replacement opponent. It was a little frustrating because I didn't have enough time to study him. So that's why you saw that in the fight, it didn't look as um, explosive as we wanted it to look. You know, the because we didn't know who he was, we didn't want to lay ourselves bare. You know, the instructions from the coach, well, my coach was, look, we don't know who this guy is. We've never seen him before. We don't. We've trained for a southpaw for 8 weeks. We've trained to go the distance. So let's just go in there, take information, use the jab, and use the jab alone. Um, Keep your distance, and so after the first round, he'll give us what we need to know, and we'll come out in the second round and punish him. That's what I did. I did not. I did. I was not supposed to throw a right hand. As you can see, there was a point in the fight that I got him in the corner, and I was kind of unloading on him, and I had to hold myself back because my coach had said, "Nah, we're not knocking this guy in the first round. We're not going to put everything out there." You know, so I had to like step back and, let him come outside and just keep taking the information that was needed. So when I got to the corner, my coach was like, "Okay, yeah, this is what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna tell you what he told me to do, but this is what we're going to do." I did hit him with a few body shots that I know he felt, that got the wind out of him. Um, and he decided not to come out in the second round just because I hit him with stuff and he knew that the end was near. And it was best for him to not get knocked out and for him to buy out instead of getting knocked out in front of his friends and family.
Yeah, I mean, he came in shape though. I wasn't expecting him to come in shape like that. Like it looks like despite him being a late replacement, at the same time he looked ready. He wanted to upset
Oh
you.
yeah, I mean, oh yeah, he was the first opponent I've had that has said a lot of mean things to me. A lot of in the weigh in, telling me that it's gonna be a long night for me. He's bringing something I've never seen before. He told me I was gonna quit on my stool. He told me I've never fought a guy in this caliber. I mean, he has a good amateur background. He's been fighting since forever. Since before I came to the United States. Actually, he told me I was gonna quit on my stool. He was told me he was going to I was gonna bring something. He not only told me, but he was telling other fighters that I'm gonna see something today. That he's bringing something that they have never seen today. So in as much as I was nervous, I was also prepared. Because I knew that okay, this is what boxing is all about. This is my first taste of what they call shit talking. So this is another level of growth because when I get to the Tyson Fury levels when that guy can talk for days, I'm going to have to prepare myself for a time when somebody, no matter what somebody says, it's not going to affect me, and I'm going to be able to just tune that away and focus on what's necessary, which is the job that needs to be done.
Thanks, brother. I do appreciate you being very specific on that. Now, you know, upsets have been very like I would say upsets. A lot of upsets have been happening. For the past few months now. Even last night, Michael Coffey got stopped by Jonathan Rice, a guy Efia Jagba fought with an elbow injury. Like going to that fight. I know you are a very you're always mentally ready for a fight. Did you ever think in your mind that it would be that easy?
Um, I'm trying not to be disrespectful here. What are you talking about for me or for Michael Coffey?
I mean, for you, like going into that fight.
Oh, to my fight?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. I would never think it. I mean, first of all, it takes a lot of balls to walk into a boxing ring. It takes a lot of courage to actually throw the first punch, knowing that something else is coming. So, I would never disrespect a fighter like that, or I would never disrespect my opponent. If you've studied my boxing long enough, you would realize that when I hurt a guy, I don't rush him. I try to box him still because I know that though he's hurt, he's experienced, and he's not just going to go out like the way Deontay Wilder kind of like swings at people when they're hurt. I still give them that respect of being a professional, a boxer, a guy that has been there before, and a guy that's hurting and is going to be a wounded lion. I learned that for the first time when I fought. I think I fought Mike Ford in Miami in 2002, January 17. Yeah. I had dropped him with a right hand, with a straight right hand. I came out because I wanted to rush him, and he swung everything at me. He did graze me a little bit, but I know that if he had got a full contact, I would have been out. So that was my first lesson on respect in the boxing ring, and not trying to rush fighters. Knowing that they have trained to be here. I never think any fight is going to be easy. Even if I'm fighting a guy that is 100 and 201 pounds that has had only one amateur fight, you have to give him the respect of actually stepping into the boxing ring and, follow your fundamentals. The jab, there are only, to me, I believe that there are only about three basic punches in boxing: the jab, the straight right hand, and the hooks. The hooks, which is the body shots or the even the uppercut. You just have to turn it. So that's what I believe. I would never. No fight is easy. No fight is ever going to be easy, and you know that's my philosophy behind boxing.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Before I, get to the next question, let's go about on Isioma, because I think he has to also contribute. Isioma, you have a lot of things to say, right? Our brother's right here with us.
Oh, well, once more, welcome to Boxing Block Center. Raphael Akpejiori, our pride and our future champion. We look forward to when your hands will be raised and you will be declared the champion.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask. I know you've had 12 professional fights so far, and you've had 2 of those fights out of the USA in Colombia. How do you compare fighting in Colombia as against fighting in the US? The fun, the reactions, everything building up to the fight night, and post-fight. Can you give us insight into that?
Fun in the U.S. is different. United States fans are spoiled. Except they really love you, they're not really going to come watch and support. But if you're fighting in Colombia or the DR or anywhere out of the country, the regular people on the streets in the neighborhood would just come support. I remember when I fought in Colombia. I think it was August of 2019. I took pictures with about 500 people. Yeah, I literally stood there and I took pictures with everybody that came to watch me fight. And I had no idea who one of them were, and they had no idea who I was. They just had love for the sport, men, women, children. Men bring their babies. Just the fact that an event came to their neighborhood, that was And I appreciated that. Now in the United States, it's a little different because you don't really have to go somewhere when you hear something that's going on. You can sit on the couch or watch it on Instagram live by one of your friends who goes there. So that's
Okay.
it's a little bit different. Now the people in Colombia, they don't have as much money as in the United States to pay $100 or $250 per seat to come watch you fight. But you can feel their love, their support, their excitement. Every punch, they yell, they shout, they scream, they cheer for their own. And even though you beat their own, you know, they still show you appreciation. The fact that you came in and you competed, and if you're walking on the street, you're a legend for that weekend. So it was great, man. It was a great feeling. I hope maybe one day I can go out of the country and fight again. Hopefully in Dubai or maybe in Nigeria or in London. London is actually the next stop for me. And we can get it cracking from there.
Okay. I also do know that you've not gone past round two. You've just had your opponents decimated, majorly in round one, but I think about three of your bouts in round two. And the longest time in round two was about 1 minute, 42 seconds.
Hmm.
Um, do you train for knockouts or do you train to go the whole hog? Knockouts just happen to be the happenstance.
No, I don't train for knockouts. I would be very stupid to train for knockouts. I I train technique every day. Every day we drill technique, drill, drill, drill. I can go a whole week just throwing one punch, which is a jab. Then the next week, okay, we're adding the right to it. Then the next 2 weeks, we're throwing a combination or two combinations on the back for the next 2 weeks. So no, I don't train. We don't train knockouts. We only train techniques. We train go to go. I mean, we know where we're trying to go with this, so we train to go 12 rounds every day. So that's what we do. We don't train for knockouts. It'll be very stupid to train for knockouts. Now, don't get me wrong. A win with a knockout is much better than a win with a unanimous decision because obviously people come to watch boxing, but the reality of things is that they come to watch a fight and see people get knocked out. So as long as you can add that taste to what you're bringing, that flavor to what you're bringing to the table, you're gonna be winning, not just in the ring, but in boxing in its entirety.
Okay, let me slot in one more question before Ray takes it over again. Of your 12 past opponents, who would you qualify as the one that perhaps almost took you away from your game plan, even though the knockout eventually came in?
Um, I don't know. The thing about me is that regardless of I wouldn't my fourth fight did not it wasn't the opponent that took me out of my game plan. It was the crowd that almost took me out of my game plan.
Okay.
Opponents don't take me out of my game plan because I have a I'm blessed to have a coach who has been there before, who, like I just said, like I just told you, we only drill certain things and we drill the same thing over and over again when because there's a saying in my life, there's a saying that I know when things get tough, you don't rise to the occasion, you only fall back to your level of training. When situations arise, you never rise to the occasion, you only fall back to your level of training. So your level of training is where you're always going to tap into when things go wrong. So every time things go wrong, I always go back to the distance, the jab, and the right hand. That's the
Okay.
basics in boxing. Now, the only thing that has really gotten me in trouble was the first time I had about over 1,000 people of my fans in the arena. You know, then I was focused on the crowd. I was focused on how's my ring work going to be? What's the song going to
Okay.
be like? Am I going to be dapping people up? What song am I going to play after? So I was focused on everything else but the guy in front of me, and I was
Okay.
lucky. Then I spoke to my amateur boxing coach. Then I was like, man, Coach Ford, I got this. I got a lot of people coming, man. I've never had this, man. I've never felt this way before. What do you think I should do for the crowd? or what do you think I should, how do you think I should like, act when I'm on the ring walk or anything. And it was like, listen, you forget about the crowd and celebrate with them after. Ignore the crowd. Don't do anything for them. When you win, you celebrate with them. Then that's when it really hit me. I still was carried away a little bit, with the ring walk, the introduction, the loud the loudness of the crowd, the cheering, and all that. And I remember I got rocked in that fight, the Mike Ford fight, and my mind was
Okay.
like, okay, we're fighting now. Okay, you got to focus now.
That should be
So that's
against Johan Lopez, I guess.
Say that again? No,
That should be
that was
against
Mike
Johan
Ford.
Lopez.
No,
Okay.
that was Mike Ford. Mike Ford.
Okay.
Mike Ford was the time I had that was pre-COVID, where I had about 1,000 people in the arena. That was when I got rocked. I think I got rocked the first time with an uppercut, and I think it wobbled me a little bit. So that's when in my mind I was like, okay, it's time to fight. It's time to ignore these people that are here, and that's when I kind of focused, balanced, and started doing what I knew how to do and what I had trained to do for weeks on hand. So yeah, I can't really tell you that a fighter has taken me off my game plan. It's really hard for a fighter to take me off my game plan. It's more of the extra things that don't matter that would possibly take me out of my game plan.
That's comforting to hear. Ray?
Thanks, brother Isioma. You have to call me very soon again. I like the questions you're asking, bro. Very, very interesting questions, I must say. But let's get to the controversial topic.
Yeah, this guy, you like Wahala. You like violence.
I'm almost stuck now. We need to speak on that for sure. And let's get to this right here. Wait 1 minute. Okay. What? All right. It's like we have 10 minutes to go before we come back again. But as usual, for those of you guys who are watching, always stay tuned. Okay. We'll be right back very soon. Let's get to that one right here before we let me see. All right. Now, looking at the like the reports, you know what happened already. I don't need to tell you the reports of you calling out Tyson Fury. Like the interview that he conducted with one guy, I don't know what, I think it's Jim Rowe also, that's his name, right? Saying that you believe you can beat Dillian White and Tyson Fury right now. Do you really believe that?
Absolutely. I've been talking about Dillian White for a good part of 8 months now. I know that's a guy that I know I can beat. There's nothing Dillian White, in my opinion, you can quote me if I'm wrong, except for experience. There's nothing Dillian White brings to the table that I cannot counter. Nothing.
And I know.
You tell me. You tell me, what does Dillian White do better than I do, except from experience?
Well, he's the body snatcher, I guess.
Does he throw better body punches than I do?
Watching your fights, I haven't really. I've seen you throw a couple of body punches, but I think in most of the fights I've seen.
The question I asked you is, does he throw better body punches than I do?
Well,
yes or no question.
Well, he's the body snatcher, so I think he does.
Anybody can say anything. Anybody can say they are anything. But by the end of the day, let's go to the reality of the situation. Let's be realists here. Does Dillian White throw better body punches than I do?
Isioma, can you answer that, bro? I mean, I think he does. As of now, but I haven't really seen. I haven't really seen the White throw a lot of body punches like that. Lately, as of late, he hasn't been throwing a lot of body punches like that. Against Povetkin, he didn't really throw a lot of body punches. He was head hunting a lot. Isioma, yeah. I mean, bro.
Yeah, you just hit the nail on the head. Against Povetkin, it was head hunting. I guess that the knockout in the first fight was still in his subconscious. I think Dillian White has some good body punches here, but he has to dig deep to throw the body punches, as against Raphael, whose body punch comes with a straight, jab. And maybe again, when we get to see some upscale fighters come to fight against you, we don't know how they absorb your body punch, but the body punch I've seen come from you so far is really scary. I'm not saying this because you're on this panel or on this platform or because you're Nigerian, but because of what I've seen. I mean, I'm scared when I see you throw those punches, you and the Fiat Jabba. I mean, your body punches really gets me scared for your opponent. But I cannot outrightly tell between yours and that of Dillian's, which is better. Maybe, again, until we get to see some tougher quality fighters. If that guy you wanted to fight, even though he's been beaten by the likes of Joseph Park and co., I think also that he would have succumbed to your power punch. But time will tell. However, I like that you're calling Dillian White out. I like you calling Tyson Fury out, because I do believe personally that you have what it takes to have a toe-to-toe against Dillian White here.
Yeah, guys, before we get back though, let me just add this quick question, because when the time runs out, we're going to come back again. Before we get back right here, let me ask you this. Who is going to be your next opponent? Who are we looking at?
I don't know. We had something in the works with a big time opponent that probably everybody knows. You probably know who he is. But it seems like it's falling off. But we're working on something big. All these guys are starting to get the balls to fight each other. You can see Michael Coffey grew a pair and asked for Jared Washington. Jared Washington fell off, and Jonathan Rice came in and beat him up. So the good thing is that these heavyweights are not. I would say they're not scared. Nobody's scared in boxing, but they're growing the courage to step up to fight the bigger guys like it was before. Joe Joyce and Dubois, they fought. That was a good fight. So I'm going to be looking up from where I am right now. I think on BoxRec, I don't know my rank right now, but anybody that's ranked higher than me is who I'm interested in. As long as your rank is higher than me, I'm willing to fight you. And like I said, we're looking at big fighters right now. Because now we know it's time to step up.
Okay, guys, you heard it from our brother Raphael Akpejiori. We'll be right back very soon. Time out. We're going to be coming back very soon. Okay, just stay tuned. And make we take some break for but stay tuned. We're coming back very soon right here. Okay, I'll use some music, jam out.
Master Chef. Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl think twice, I can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug, and for certain she not gonna leave. Yeah, she stuck to me. Yeah, she not gonna leave. My girl, she choosing me every time. I charge like Benzema, bend it like Ronaldinho. Plenty man on you like Cantona. Me, I go save you like a Nyama. Girl, you know you're extraordinary. Body so tight, you don't need no time me talking. And it's only me, she calling papi. And you can only catch me with the foreign. She foreign like Mercedes. Hope the steering drive me crazy. Red light and she still wanna go. Pay the totally me times 2. She not really send nobody. She hitting on my line, she needing company. I mean, listen up close. You gon' be safe with me tonight. Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl think twice, I can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug, and for certain she not gonna leave. Yeah, she stuck to me. Yeah, she not gonna leave. My girl, she choosing me every time. For certain, already on my way to the curtain. Oh, I love it. start to help me under the button. So sexy girl, say you know my style. So you have to make me want it, and I never leave you. Oh, any boy that want take with me and from me, girl, think twice, you can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug and for certain she not gonna leave. Ah yeah, she stuck to me. Ah yeah, she not gonna leave. My girl, she choosing me every time. Fire brigade, I need someone to come extinguish this fire. Girl, you burning up, and I gotta cool you down. Fire brigade, I need someone to come extinguish this fire. Girl, you burning up, and I gotta cool you down. Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl, think twice, you can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug and for certain she not gonna leave. Ah yeah, she stuck to me. Ah yeah, she not gonna leave. My girl, she choosing me every time. Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl, think twice, you can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug and for certain she not gonna leave. Ah yeah, she stuck to me. Ah yeah, she not gonna leave. My girl, she choosing me every time.
Master Chef.
Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl, think twice, you can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug and for certain she not gonna leave. Ah yeah, she stuck to me. Ah yeah, she not gonna leave. My girl, she choosing me every time. I charge like Benzema, bend it like Ronaldinho. Plenty man on you like Cantona. Me, I go save you like a Nyama. Girl, you know you're extraordinary. Body so tight, you don't need no time me talking. And it's only me, she calling papi. And you can only catch me with the foreign. She foreign like Mercedes. Hope the steering drive me crazy. Red light and she still wanna go. Can you the totally me times two? She not really said nobody. She hitting on my line, she needing company. I mean, listen up close. You gon' be safe with me tonight. Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl, think twice, you can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug and for certain she not gonna leave. Ah yeah, she stuck to me. Ah yeah, she not gonna leave. My girl, she choosing me every time. For certain, already on my way to the curtain. Oh, I love it. You start to help me under the button. So sexy girl, say you know my style. So you have to make me want it, and I never leave you. Oh, any boy that want take with me and from me, girl, think twice, you can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug and for certain she not gonna leave. Ah yeah, she stuck to me. Ah yeah, she not gonna leave. My girl, she choosing me every time. Fire brigade.
Guys, we are definitely back from the break. I hope you guys are still with us right here. You know, here's the home of Nigerian and African boxing. What does that mean? It means you get exclusive, extraordinary bangers out here on BBC. You know how it be now. Shout out to my brother Isioma for asking the right questions. Of course, I'm gonna get to you very soon, brothers. You know, as usual, you know, the guy the beef for this stuff right here as the hot. So now let's get straight to it. I'm still right here with the Nigerian Hurricane. Still right here. So we are back. Thanks for having you back, brother.
Pleasure is mine, sir.
Yeah, no wala, but no wala. So now, I don't know. Are you close to Michael Coffey?
No, I know. I've never spoken to him before. I've never met him before, actually.
You saw? I mean, did you watch his fight last night?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I saw his fight yesterday. I think it was the fight against Jonathan Rice. I saw the whole thing. Yeah.
How was it like for you? How was his performance for you?
Um, I don't know what he trained for, how he trained. Typically performances like that are hard because it's a replacement opponent. You know, what you've been training for a good part of 8 weeks. Somebody comes in and you have to change the whole plan. You know, but still, at the end of the day, there are fundamentals to boxing um, which happen all across the board. And I didn't see him with those fundamentals. The jab was non-existent. The jab hand was down. Um, the balance was there, but there was no nimbleness in there. You know, it looked like he wanted to. It looked like it was a punch-taking competition. You know, he was. I would say he was grateful. He was happy with taking so many punches, which I didn't understand. You know, because at the end of the day, if you keep tapping the rock, at some point it's going to break. You know, you can't just keep taking right hands and expect that your neck is going to be strong enough to withstand that for 10 rounds. You know, so that's where I had a problem with him. Um, I actually thought he was going to win because he has a bigger name, and Johnny Rice, for the most part, he was supposed to lose. You know, I'm happy for Johnny Rice. I think it was a good performance for Johnny Rice. I personally thought both of them sucked, but I'm still happy for the winner, and I think that I wish the best on the both of them.
Would you fight Johnny Rice? Like,
I'll fight
if
anybody.
if
He's
for
ranked
if
higher than me.
if for example, like they present PBC present an offer to you, would you fight the guy?
Yeah, absolutely. He's ranked higher than me right now, so yeah, I'm definitely willing to fight him.
How well do you think you would do him? Like, his style is very tricky. He fights like Buster Douglas in a way, though. Last night he
He
fought
throws
like Buster Douglas.
he throws a jab from his front leg. He leans into his right hand. He definitely cannot throw a hook. So all I have to do is keep my distance and fire from range. So there's nothing in there that I need to be afraid of. I mean, at the end of the day, he doesn't protect his. I feel like I'm giving you too much now. He doesn't protect his head well enough, and even though he does, he doesn't have the condition to protect it for more than 3 rounds. I can fight. I can keep my power up until the sixth or seventh round with a guy like that, and I will. I mean, we know how my fights end, so yeah, I don't feel any type of way about him. Like I just said, both of them suck.
At what round would you knock him out?
Possibly the third, out of respect.
Wow, the third round. That's like big,
Out of
huh?
out of respect, just because I want to respect him and say, okay, he can't just clean somebody out at that caliber in 2 rounds like he's just a regular person walking the street. You know, you just have to give him some respect and clean him out in the third. Give him a chance to quit in the third. I'll try not to knock him out cold, but I'll give him a chance to be able to quit in the third round.
Yeah. I mean, I do know, but I wanna ask you something though. Why does it seem like each time an opponent get in the ring with you, it's like they seem quite afraid. Like you can actually tell, like their body language doesn't seem right. And each time they get in the ring with you, like before they get in the ring, you can see them being very vibrant. Kind of like being very agile and energetic in a way. But after you land just maybe a left hook, or let's say a left jab to the body, they tend to say, whoa, blast, this guy go keep busy for you. Like the body language changes. Do you think opponents are afraid of you each time they get in the ring with you?
I don't know. I'm not in their head, but I'll tell you this. The reason you get afraid of somebody in boxing, the real reason is poise. I can step in the ring with you. I can be running around. A guy who runs around, is hard to be afraid of them. But a guy who stands and sets foot and says, okay, you know what, it's time for us to go, which is something that I do very well. it's really hard to not be afraid of such a person. For example, if you look at somebody like Anthony Joshua, before the Ruiz fight, he's a guy who would always be in front of you with his feet set, ready to punch and catch and return punches. So at that point in time, people were really, really, truly afraid to get in the ring with him. So that is something that I'm slowly bringing myself into. Also, if you look at a guy like Deontay Wilder, he said he's looking you dead in the eyes and he's ready to fire. So that it's hard to not be afraid of a guy like that. People are typically not afraid of Tyson Fury because obviously he moves around a lot. He's going to be nimble. He's going to tap you. You know that okay, worst case scenario, I'm going to go distance. But a guy who sets his feet and looks you into the eye and punches with bad intentions, like I do, and you're going to get knocked out. You just have to choose how you get knocked out. Are you going to not get knocked out on your back? Are you going to get a TKO? Are you going to look at the ref for help? Or are you going to sit in your corner? That's a decision you're going to have to make, and you're going to have to. The thing is, from the weigh-in, I'm going to let you know that that's a decision you have to go back home tonight to think about and make that decision. Figure out how you want to quit the fight. You want to quit on your back, you want to quit on your feet, you want to look at the ref for help, or you want to sit on your stool and you know just not come out for the third round because the end is near and it's going to be bad for you. So that's why people are afraid of me. I It's their problem. I don't care. At the end of the day, when we get in the ring, we have to fight, and the fundamentals of the sport comes out, and it's what it is.
How would you describe your style? I know you've heard this before. Some people might call you, they might call you an amateur, and they might say, oh, this guy's amateurish in a way, or they say, hey, like he's just, people can say, oh, why is he fighting that way? Why isn't it moving his head? Like you've got a lot of critics, I guess. You yourself, this. At the same time, there are also people out there, who believe that. Oh, I mean, I have to say, each time I watch you, like, I'm always amazed by what you do, because people that don't know you, like people that just started watching you, will not really understand the development you've made so far, how you are evolving as a fighter. People that they just started watching you will say, "Oh, this guy, he's not doing this thing right." But looking at your progress, you've been boxing for just 4 years, and on paper, you should be beating guys like Steven Lyons. That's a fact, on paper. Because the experience alone, you can actually see the difference. Like, your style is unique in a way. I see a lot of Glenn Johnson style in you, okay? Of course, Glenn Johnson, has a very unique style as well. I'm seeing that in you, and I'm also seeing something else. Like, how would you describe your style? Because it's not a style that I've seen before. I must tell you the retro, right here. I've seen a lot of styles. The Anthony Joshua style, the Deontay Wilder style, the Safiri style, the Efe Ajagba style. But your style is just like, I've never seen it before. How do you develop that style, and how far do you think you have to change some things in your arsenal? You have to like, you think you're better like this, or you go like this?
The truth is this. I'm an amateur. When people say, "Oh, I fight like an amateur," it's very true. I am an amateur. It's not. It's not. Though they want to put it as an insult, it is the truth. The first time I got into a boxing ring to compete was October 1st of 2016. That was the first time I ever competed against somebody in boxing, and that was just less than 5 years ago. I was just lucky. When I started boxing, if you ever catch the drift of my amateur tapes, I was a heavyweight that was fighting like Manny Pacquiao. I was always just jumping all over the place. Though I didn't know what I was doing, that was what I was watching at that time. That was a guy that I just wanted to. I was trying to implement quickness into boxing. But the unfortunate thing about quickness is that quickness and power, if you don't know how to use it well, they don't really go together. So when I met Glenn, he kind of, obviously the style of the trainer is always going to always going to show in the fighter. So that's kind of like what happened. If you really wanna see what my style is, or if you want to understand what my style, you have to watch a guy. You have to go watch Errol Spence, because that's who I really try to fight like. He to me is the number one pound for pound boxer in the world. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He hardly ever makes any mistakes. He's very effective off his back foot. His jab hand is straight out. Unfortunately, I'm not as small as he is. I have more mass. So when people ask me why do you knock people out so easily, or why people quit so easily, it's because I fight mostly on my back foot. The unfortunate thing is that when you fight on your back foot like that, except you're very experienced, like a guy like Errol Spence, it's really hard to be nimble on your feet, because it's like you're using your entire weight to box. So that's the next level I need to transform into. I need to translate into, being nimble on my feet, trying to add some of the Tyson Furies type feet into things, or at least get into the Anthony Joshua level of footwork, you know. So, like I said, if you want to really understand my style, go watch Errol Spence, and that's where I'm going to go. I'm trying to go with this. That's why I believe I can beat anybody in the world just with my style only.
Wow, I mean that's impressive, I must say. Although I've not seen it yet. I'm not seeing the response style in you yet. I'm seeing a very different fighter with a kind of unique style in a way. But I guess in the future, or let's say from now till, I mean, let's say in 3 years time, we'll see that. Now I heard a rumor. Okay, I heard a rumor. Let me just break to you right now. I heard a rumor that this guy, what's his name again? Zhang Jilei. Okay, is looking to fight you. Okay, and I also heard a rumor that you accepted that fight. Do you think it's too early for you to accept a fight against Zhang Jilei, or do you think that you have that belief? Because Zhang Jilei is an Olympian. Okay, a guy who has been in the radar for a long time. He was with Rock Nation after the Olympics. I didn't really like after that. He was just missing. And the Matchroom actually brought him back in a way to the limelight. And I don't know if it's true. If it's true, you can say. If not, you just let me know if it's just like. At the same time, how do you think a fight between you will play out if that fight happens? I don't know if they will accept that fight though, because you are like high risk, low reward for them, But if they do accept it, how do you see that fight playing out?
Well, like you said, it's a rumor, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, let's treat it as a rumor, because there's no contract signed. So yeah, it is a rumor. But from every wherever there is smoke, lots of smoke, there's always fire, especially in boxing. But yeah, a guy like Zhang Zhilei, he's a guy that I would absolutely love to fight. He's just like me. He's 6'8", I believe 6'6" or 6'8", just as tall as I am. He's very experienced. He's 22-0 with one draw. The last draw I think came in when he was in Miami, where we saw him fight. He's been boxing since before I think I got into America from basketball. I think he's been boxing since 2000 and the early 2000s, I believe. He's a 2012 Olympian. Multiple fights, multiple World Series fights. He's a step up. Like I said, I'm going to be a little crass with what I say now. Glenn Johnson always says something. As long as a man has a dick and two balls, we're willing to fight them. Maybe if he has three, we'll kind of think about it. So the only problem with him is that he's a southpaw. But also we got to remember that all through this year, I fought one southpaw, and I was to fight another southpaw in my last fight. So if that tells you something, all year I've been training to fight southpaws. And if that is a fight that if it happens, I'm very, very willing and able to accept it. I will accept it if that fight comes in, but like you said, it's still a rumor, so we have to treat it as such. It's a fight that I will be I will be willing to accept. I would love to fight him if he gives me that opportunity, and I believe I'll be successful. And may the best man win.
So it means you then have to fight on DAZN. Also, I think he's still with DAZN, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I'm going to fight him. I'll be fighting inside a boxing ring, right?
Yeah, I mean, promoted by DAZN. So, I mean, I don't know.
My only all that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's gonna be me, him, and a referee. Whoever is watching does not matter. I'm not worried about what network is watching. Nigeria will be watching, Miami will be watching, London will be watching, and that's all I care about. I know China will be watching also, because he's their hero over there. He's their heavyweight boxer. So it'll possibly be a fight between Nigeria and China. We can kind of find a way to turn it into something like that. But yeah, if that fight ever happens, or if they ever give me a call to say how they want to fight, I will be willing, and I will be able to, step up to the plate and, may the best man win.
Guys, I want to say, if you have any question to ask the Nigerian Hurricane right now, just ask. Okay, I will read it very soon. Let's get to the next one. If any question there on the live chat, just ask a question, and he will answer you right now. Now going still on the Tyson Fury fight. Did you ever had the chance to spar Fury? Because I know your friend Christian Ton sparred Fury. What is your take on? Have you sparred Fury before? I don't know if you have.
No, I've never met him before. I know he was in Miami one time. I know he's friends with Christian and I think Ditchko. I'm not close with Ditchko either. I just know Christian from from Fifth Street Gym that's up in here in Miami. What are you asking me about Fury?
Like Fury, what do you make of the fallout? Okay, between Fury and Wilder, like they were friends, right? And you are close to Wilder. You know Wilder more than Fury. Than you know Fury. Now, the fight was supposed to happen July 24th. It didn't happen. Now it's been postponed. I mean, we're looking at a new date, October 9th. They say it's the new date. I don't know. Like, were you kind of, because I heard that you were supposed to go to that event, towards the fight. Probably, maybe do some trash talking there with a boxer and get a fight, probably, because I mean, you don't just go to a fight just to watch a fight. You're a boxer, you're a monster, you're one of the faces of Nigerian boxing right now, to speak. Okay, one of the faces of Nigerian boxing. Your profile is like up the notch right now, up the top. It's top notch right now, and yeah. What do you make of the Fury Wilder not happening on July 24th?
I mean, I was actually going there to support Ife. I was going to be the loudest person in the nosebleeds, because those tickets were really.
I mean, if you're Jagba.
Yeah, I was going there to go support Ife Jagba.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing, man. I tell you that.
Those tickets were very expensive, so there was no way in hell that I was going to be down there on the floor talking shit where everybody could hear what I said. But I was going to be up there in the nosebleeds, like I said, with my Nigerian flag, yelling at you and all that, because obviously that's my Nigerian brother. We've been through the struggle, and I have to find a way to support him through in his career, and hopefully, we can take our country and the athletics in our country to a better place. For Tyson Fury, I don't think about him any type of way. I've never met him. I've never talked. I've spoken to him. I would say that I have a bias against him simply because my coach is Deontay Wilder's coach for strength and conditioning. And, obviously training in that circumstance, you kind of have a bias towards the person that does the same thing that you do every day, or training the same, and you kind of hear things about the other guy that you sometimes agree with or not agree with. But at the end of the day, I'm always on the side of my brother that, we go through the struggle together every day, and knowing what he does and how it affects the quality of our boxing in the same sport. Um, that's about it. I've never sparred with Tyson Fury. Maybe hopefully one day, we can figure something out, or maybe I can go to a camp with him and, kind of like steal some tricks I can use on him in the future. Or, I mean, I don't feel any type of way about any of these guys.
Do you
It,
see the fight with what happening? Do you see happening October 9th, or do you see like, because I don't know if it's going to happen, but do you see happening? And if it happens, you're gonna go. Are you gonna be going there to support Efia Jagba or what?
oh yeah, yeah. I'll try to go, depending on what happens. I know the fight was supposed to happen last Saturday. I was actually scheduled. I had everything ready to go to Vegas, flight, hotel, rental car, everything. The event ticket and all, and I had to cancel all of that and try to get my money back. Um, It is going to happen October 9, like Tyson Fury's dad says, until you see Tyson Fury in the ring, do not buy your tickets. So I'm going to take the advice of Tyson Fury's dad and, wait till at least there's a press conference for the week before I commit myself to maybe buying or purchasing any tickets. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to try to go there to support my boy. If you're a Jaguar, I hope he wins that fight against Frank Sanchez, and I know he's going to win. He just has to develop. I think with him in Tyson Fury's camp, that alone will make sure that he develops a nimble feet that is going to be able to either chase or move around with Tyson Frank Sanchez, and he's going to come up with a victory.
So you think Ajagba needs more movement against Fran Sanchez?
Oh yeah, he absolutely does. He absolutely does. I think I sparred with, when was this? It's quite some time ago. I've been in the ring with Frank Sanchez before. He's very, very, very. I mean, he's the Cuban Flash for a reason. He's very quick on his feet. There might not be a lot of power in there, but he's going to touch you, and that constant touching, is what gets you frustrated. And he definitely does need more movement in his feet. And I think um, with what he has alone, his power alone and all the good things that he has going for him, and the addition of the nimble feet and the movement, he's going to be successful.
Yeah, Sanchez is a very skillful fighter though. Like, very skillful, very tricky. I saw the video like when you both sparred each other. The guy was very. I would say he was scared of getting hit by you in a way, and
Everybody's scared of getting hit on me.
he was scared of getting hit by you, but it was very tricky. His coach were like saying, I heard him saying in Spanish, muévete, muévete, muévete. Nigerian tienen buen golpe. Like, like you're powerful, telling Sanchez to move. Now, let's look at the Joe Joyce. Did you watch Joe Joyce Clastic fight?
I did not watch it, but I saw the highlights of the fight. I saw the most important part of the fight, but I didn't see the fight live. I'm not tuned into the zone. Was it on the zone? Where was it on?
On BT Sports in UK.
Yeah, I don't have that in the United States.
I think I thought BT made they made a sort of agreement with Top Rank or so, ESPN. I don't know, ESPN Plus.
Yeah, it wasn't on ESPN. The fight was not on ESPN.
Okay, you saw the highlights, right? You saw the reactions from people. How impressed were you by Jojo's performance? Do you think because in his the fight, his fight before the Takam fight, which was against Daniel Dubois, you saw a lot of movement there, with a lot of good jabs. He kept his jab out there, against Dubois. He basically won that fight with a jab, okay, trained by Ismail Salas. In his last fight, I think in this fight against Takam, I think it was trained by someone else, and we didn't see the movement there. We didn't see What do you think happened? What do you think? What was the Chipotle right there? What do you make of the performance?
I mean, if you're in boxing for so long, you will know that styles make fights. Carlos Takam is a guy who moves a lot, but he doesn't move to the target. He moves away from the target. For Joe Joyce, he's a much slower heavyweight than Anthony Joshua. So obviously, he's not going to move as fast away as possible. He's going to try to move to the target or stay there. Which is what he did. So what does that mean? That makes life easier for Joe Joyce. So he doesn't really have to run after him or chase after him or try to exert himself like a Danny Dubois will. Like the Danny Dubois fight, which obviously Danny Dubois did not move a lot either. So there was really no reason for movement in that fight. There was no need for the movement. Jojo didn't show me anything that he hasn't showed before. He stuck to his game plan and he won the fight. A lot of people said that the stop was too soon. I didn't think so. I mean, maybe everybody wants to see the brain damage or a dead man in the ring, but that's not the point of boxing. If you're taking too much punishment, it's the job of the referee to save you, and I think that's what the referee did. And good kudos to Joe Joyce. Congratulations for the win. And I hope to see bigger things from him. I think he's next up the line for Anthony Joshua in the WBO sanctioning circuit. But we'll see how that goes.
When you conducted an interview with not long ago with Sky Sports, you did say something that you quote Anthony Joshua somewhere, saying that the jab the right hand can take you around the block, the jab can take you around the world. Does that mean you are currently developing your jab, to be more solid? Because in your last fight, the commentator did say something like you should be popping a jab out there and instead of just, try to measure it a little bit. And when you started popping it, it was, oh, that's what I mean. Are you developing your jab to a world-class jab, or what is it? What is going on with your jab? Are you developing it?
Yeah, I mean, my job is a work in progress. The job that I had a year ago or in the amateurs is not the same job I have right now. I am developing my jab. I'm trying to get my jab where it's much faster and much longer. I showed a much faster and a longer fight when I fought Curtis Head. I think I had thrown a lazy jab and he countered me with an overhand right that wobbled me for like a quarter of a second. That's when I fell back to the training that I had been training on the jab. I started keeping the jab much longer and much faster, so that's when I kind of saw the benefits of having such a good jab. Now, still, I still don't have that consistent fast popping jab. So that's the next level that I need to get to. And I should be able to get there in about 3 to 4 weeks where it's consistent and it's powerful and straight and keep trading out there. So yeah, I am developing my jab. It's going to get better. Obviously the jab is what's going to take you around the world, and it gets better from there.
That's very good. That's very good. Now looking at the Joshua Usyk fight, which has been confirmed for September 25th. I think you're going to be watching that. You will watch that fight as a fact. I know you will.
Oh yeah.
How do you analyze that fight?
I see Joshua winning. I see him winning. I think he's taking some. When was the one of his last fight? His last fight was this year, right?
No, last year December.
No, last December. So he's had a good amount of time to rest. Take stock, and he's also known that this fight was coming up for some time. I know there's rumors that Usyk has added weight, which to me I believe is to his detriment. And also Joshua would also come in there and show his class, I believe. I have Joshua winning. I think the amateur pedigree that Joshua has will come into play because not trying to downplay Usyk's amateur pedigree, but just the amateur pedigree for Joshua will come into play because he's seen a lot of guys that are much smaller. And and I think Joshua will win. I think Joshua will keep Usyk in front of him. I think Joshua's jab will be much longer. I don't think Joshua would do anything that he doesn't know how to do or do anything out of the ordinary. I think he's going to keep it simple. And how do I see the jab playing? I think Joshua will end Usyk with the same punch that he ended. What's the IBF guy? The guy who's so
Kurapulev.
no, no, no.
Wait, which one?
The first guy he won his belt with
Oh, Charles Martin.
from Charles Martin. I think Joshua ends Usyk with the same catch with follow right hand. I think he ends him with that same punch. That's after working him for some time. Just simply because Usyk has added weight, and this is a 10-round heavyweight fight. You don't just come into the heavyweight circle at 6'4" and expect to beat up a 6'6", 6'7" guy.
Okay, that's true though.
What happened to Isiama?
Oh, Isiama, I will have him very soon. I will have him back very soon.
Okay.
So we're gonna be taking some questions right now. Stay tuned, guys. And Daniel, let's see. Daniel Bob, who is the best promoter in boxing, and list your top 5 heavyweight.
I think Eddie Hearn is the best promoter in boxing. Eddie Hearn hasn't seen a camera that he does not like or he's not going to talk to. And I think that's the basic ingredient for being a promoter. Be willing to talk to everybody. If Eddie Hearn comes to Miami, he will stay. I won't say Miami. If Eddie Hearn goes anywhere, he will stay back and talk to every media outlet, from a YouTube outlet to a local station and I've never heard him say anything bad about his fighters, except for when he talks trash about maybe what's his name, Deontay Wilder. But that is just because he's trying to uplift his fighter, and it's heavyweight boxing. You have to create some level of controversy. But in my opinion, Eddie Hearn is the best promoter in the game. He's the most active promoter in the game. He does what he does to drive the sport forward. And now my top 5 heavyweights. Number 1. It's really hard for me to rank them because everybody presents a different aspect. Obviously the top 3 would be Joshua, Fury, and Wilder. I don't really have any order in there. I'm a knockout artist, so I'll possibly put Deontay up top. Of those 3, and also, like I said, I'm biased towards that level. The 4th, I'll give it to Luis Ortiz, simply because 1, he's a Miami guy, so that's 1, and 2, I think he's probably the most avoided heavyweights in all of boxing. And number 3, I don't rank any. I don't have a 3.
Oh, what about Dillian White there?
No, absolutely not. I don't see anything in any of the other 3 that I would give them some level of reputation for that. I don't see anything in another person that I would clap for.
What about Andrews Jr.?
No.
Okay. Well, thanks for that, bro. Let's get another question right. Yeah. Ogechi Ogunwa.
Ogechiku Ogunwa.
Yeah, Ogunwa. Yeah, he or she? He or she says, I have a question for the champ. So I heard you were in Nigeria for the Olympic trials. If true, why do you think Nigeria wasn't represented in the ongoing Olympic Games in Tokyo?
That is a topic that I will not talk about. No matter how much you pay me, I would just say that Nigerians should try to take their country seriously, and vote for the right people and hold our leaders accountable. That's the best I can say about that.
Yeah, you guys heard it. There's a reason why he doesn't want to talk about that. We know already. Now, although I have to say though, like I saw, like on your story, I saw what you wrote saying that even if you were to be paid some sort of money, you wouldn't want to represent Nigeria. Why do you think
Yeah.
so?
Like I just said, if they, it's the same reason. Like if Nigeria puts me on a private jet, gives me everything, gives me stipend, I absolutely would not do that. And think about it. My only goal growing up was to represent Nigeria in anything, from soccer to track to basketball to everything, under 18 basketball, boxing, But after the experience that I had in Nigeria last year, February, if I had a kid, I would tell my kid not to represent Nigeria with the way I feel right now. Maybe that will change in the future. I don't know. But as of today, if I had a child that wants to go play for Nigeria, I would tell him not to do that.
Yeah, I think you're talking about the leadership. The people in the position
Yeah.
there. But that would
Yeah.
change though. That wouldn't be. They won't be like that forever. I mean, I mean that's like too far fetched. JN Life says, why are you not with Eddie Hearn? Would you consider it if he asks you? Love you, bro.
Everybody is open to come sit at my table. Everybody, from Don King up all the way down. The just not yet time. The time is not right yet.
I also heard a rumor
time.
that Don King wanted you on his as the face of his roster. Like I don't know how true that is, man.
Like you said, it's a rumor, right? So let's keep it as a rumor.
Well, what if Don King were to approach you, for example, and say, the Nigerian Hurricane, I've seen your fights. I know you do a lot of numbers. A lot of views everywhere. You're a star. Nigerians always watch your fights. Even celebrities in Nigeria, AY, the rest also, like support and back you up. Sign with Don King. I will make it the next Mike Tyson. What would you say?
No, I won't say no. I spoke too soon. I'll actually let him sit on the table and I'll listen to everything he has to say. And like I said, everybody deserves a chance. And I don't think anybody can make anybody the next Mike Tyson. If he can make me the next Mike Tyson, he would have made somebody else the next Mike Tyson, since Mike Tyson was not Mike Tyson as we know it. So everybody's responsible for making themselves what they want to be. Don King did not make Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson made Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson wanted to be great. It wasn't the promoter's fault. The product is, as long as you're the product, you have all the power, and that's what all boxers need to recognize. The power is in the product. It's not in the PR. It's not in the manager, the promoter. I mean, obviously, those guys play a key role to your career. Yes, I get that, but at the end of the day, you are the power, you are the product, and you need to recognize that.
Okay, question from Dr. Hook. He says, who does the fight delay benefit most, Wilder or Fury, and who wins?
I think Fury. I think it benefits Fury because obviously Fury needs time to, based on the rumors that we've heard, he hasn't been in top shape and he's working his way back to shape. I still think Wilder wins, and like I keep saying, I'm coming from a biased perspective because we share the same coach, and I know the work he's done in terms of the strength and conditioning work, the change of trainers, new tactics, and everything. I think Wilder wins. They have him winning in the 5th round. I have him winning in the 3rd round by knockout. That's my opinion. I think Wilder wins, and I think I know it's gonna be a near-death experience based on what has been planned.
Because you are Team Wilder, that's why.
Yeah, because I'm Team Wilder. Yes, based on what I know and based on the rumors. I mean, based on the whole COVID whatever they held.
Yeah, what do you also make of Water confirming to be a son, a son of the soil?
I mean, that's good, I guess. Everybody wants to be Nigerian these days. I don't know why, but those of us that are Nigerian, we don't get to enjoy being Nigerian alone. But it's good, everybody's welcome. At the end of the day, um, I mean, Nigeria is a big country. We welcome everybody that wants to associate with Nigeria. Anthony Joshua says he's Nigerian. Deontay Wilder says he's Nigerian. Joe Joyce says he's Nigerian. And there are a few random people here in the United States that say they're Nigerian. But at the end of the day, we don't see the flag except they need something from Nigeria. That's when they realize that Nigerians. But,
but it's not about Joshua saying he's Nigerian. He's Nigerian though. Like if you look at it.
Okay. No, he's Nigerian. I know that for a fact. I mean,
Water on the other hand is like he traced his ancestry to Nigeria and to Edo tribe, where I'm from. So
yeah, all of America traces their ancestry to Nigeria or Benin Republic, or Ghana. So yeah, everybody's Nigerian when they need to be Nigerian, when they want to be Nigerian, when it's time to be Nigerian for real, it's everybody kind of keeps quiet, and the real Nigerians step up to the plate. But like I said, I'm happy everybody wants to be Nigerian these days. Well, when I came to America, it wasn't that cool to be Nigerian. We took all the insults and we fought, and now Davido and Wizkid and Burna and Runtown, they've all made being Nigerian cool. Everybody's trying to associate. So yeah, they're all welcome.
Being African wasn't like that either, right? It was the same, kind of the
being
same.
African was never cool, but now it's cool. So yeah, it's fine.
Okay, no problem. We have Isioma in the house right here. Isioma.
Yeah, lovely, great interview so far. Enjoying it. I must say that I didn't know that Raphael is an orator. It's quite a good feeling when you see a pugilist that also is an orator. I mean, you're a man of many parts. You played soccer, you played basketball, and you're a wordsmith in your own right.
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask Raphael, what is fight camp like? I mean, those of us who are not boxers can only imagine. We get to see clips, but we don't know the behind the scenes. Can you take us through, as much as you can, some of the behind the scenes?
Every fight camp really depends on the level of the fight. I'm going to start with the level I was before to the level I am now and the level that I'm going. So back in time when I had just started boxing, obviously, you're coming from the amateurs, you're fighting guys that are subpar. They want to get your feet wet in the fighting game as a professional. For the first time ever, you're fighting without headgear. Your mind is going crazy. Or what if they blow my teeth? What if, so they want to give you somebody that they know that you are way talented than, someone that, for lack of a better term, is coming to lose, but still you have to fight. They're going to come to fight, but they're okay with losing. That's why you see records like somebody has a 3-6 record or 1-9 record, So in that level, fight camp is not really that gruesome. You're still going through the regular mechanics. You sign the contract maybe 4 weeks at a time. You start training for a 4-round fight. You're doing the mids. You're kind of like preparing yourself for battle. Your adrenaline levels go up weeks before the fight, and you go through the fight. You feel good. You feel like, okay, you know what? I've gone through this level. I'm good with it. You have a few you have a few of those 4-round fights, then you step up to the 6-round fights. Then your conditioning starts increasing because you need to be able to go for 6 rounds of throwing straight punches and just keeping your cool in the face of danger. With the level I am now, fight camp, for me, it starts with when the contract is signed. Typically, I will sign a contract 6 to 8 weeks before a fight. There's a basic level that I maintain when I'm training, when there's no fight coming up. But once that contract is signed, step it up. I typically do 2 a days. 2 a days is in the morning of strength and conditioning with my trainer Joey Scott. Then at night I go with my trainers, Joey's Ben Johnson and Jose Roman. Depending on how many rounds we're fighting and who we're fighting, we have to switch our styles to match that fighter. Switch the game plan to be towards that fighter. If we're fighting a southpaw who's running around, we have to then start learning how to run around to chase or to go away from that guy. It sucks because, when it's fight camp, all the coaches in the gyms, their attention goes on you. So you really cannot make any more mistakes. When every of your teammates, they're all making mistakes, and you're looking like, yo, why you letting him do all that and you're just putting your attention on me? You're just not allowed to make any mistakes anymore. So it's like a 6 to 8 week grueling period of strict training. Obviously, for the married ones, there's no sex. You have to change your diet. Your diet has to go in tune with your body changes, your sleep changes. You have to make sure you're sleeping. You have to go into your treatments, your massage sessions, your chiropractic sessions. That's about it, and it's just a grueling period. The beginning of camps always sucks because no matter how quick you just got off a fight, the beginning of camp always sucks. Like the first week is always hell because if you're going to be fighting an 8-round fight, then you have to be training for 10 rounds. So all of a sudden you're going from your base level of 4 to 6 rounds normal to then they're going 10 rounds of straight punching. That sucks. Then as during the 3rd to 4th week, you're kind of like going through the routines. Then the last week, you're toning down. The sparrings are hard. Typically, you finish sparring 2 weeks to a week and a half before the fight. Then the week of the fight is just, then you're just working on speed. You're just working on the technique. You're just kind of like going through the mental phases of what's going to happen in the fight, what he's possibly going to throw. He's gonna throw. Is he used to throwing a looping right hand? What are you gonna do when he does that? Is he gonna crowd you when he does that? Are you gonna sit down? Are you gonna fire to the body, or are you gonna run around and keep touching him? When do you want to do that? That's kind of like what fight camp is about. It's one of the worst periods of boxing, but the gratitude is always in the end.
Absolutely, gratitude is always in the end. I think you kind of also answered what I wanted to ask next about your cardio, but I think you did answer it when you said if you're going for it, an 8-round bout, you train for 10 rounds. So it tells that you expand your gas tank. I want to push you, I want to drive you to an uncomfortable zone. When Kamaru Usman is asked if he's ever going to fight Israel Adesanya, he says he's never going to fight his brothers. I'm sure you know where it is. I'm headed already. Should it ever happen that you and the Jabba will have to face each other in the ring, would you take the fight?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, really?
Nah.
Tell us. We would like to know why you would not want to take that fight.
I think Nigeria is best served with 2 champions. And if I ever have to take that fight, it's going to be if I have all the belts, he has the other belts, and there's just a growing call for us to fight. And by then, the only reason we'll fight each other is maybe in Nigeria, and we'll have to get like rematch. We're going to rematch ourselves to the death, So that's what we're going to do. But for me to just fight him as a contender on my way up, probably not.
Okay, I'd like to ask one more question. The condition here in Nigeria just happened before I switch over power. Yeah. I'd like to ask, AY was at your fight, right? I know you both are good friends. How did it feel for AY to be to be at your fight, supporting and rooting for you? Even came into the ring after your bout and was doing his usual leg walk. And let me also rope this question into this because I might have to hand over to Raymond right after this question. Nigerian basketball teams, the Tiger and the Tigress, have had their outings at the ongoing Tokyo 2020. You are an avid basketballer yourself. Can you tell us what you feel about their outings?
Starting with AY, I've known AY for a few months. I spoke to him a few times when he was in Nigeria. I actually connected with AY with my friend who's in California, and we just kind of hit it up from there. And he's a good dude, man. We hung out a few times when he was here in Miami. I took him to some of the local spots that I go to party. Met up with a few friends, introduced him with a few friends. He introduced me to Papa, what's his name? The short actor.
Osita Yeme.
Osita Yeme, because of AY, I met Osita Yeme. I met RMD, I'm having good contact with those people now,
I guess that was when they were shooting Christmas in Miami.
Yeah, they were shooting a movie here.
You haven't met Jazzy, but he does follow you, right?
Yeah, I've actually, I do. We follow each other, me and Jazzy. He's actually good, I met him through a few of my other friends.
Is he a sports fan?
Nigeria. I don't know. Obviously, Nigerians will be sports fans as long as other Nigerians are competing. It's a pride thing for us. So yeah, it was good for him to come to the fight to support. I think his presence elevated the what's the word I'm looking for? His presence elevated the quality of my boxing in terms of taking it out to the streets and just getting people to be interested. Him being at the event alone, people that were there that were all Nigerians also, they had an inclination to participate and they were happier to be there. They were excited for the event. They were, there was more dancing at the event. There was a really good DJ that was playing songs. What's his name? Chibik Charles. He's actually also Nigerian. So, there was a lot of happiness and Nigerian dancing and, fun at the event just because AY was there. He's a comedian, he's an actor, he's an entertainer as a person. So, he actually raised the level of the event and, I'm actually blessed to know him. And what was the other question you were asking me about Nigerian basketball and the women? I think Nigerian basketball is heading to a good place, Mike Brown is the coach of the Nigerian basketball team. So he's brought a lot of the NBA players who are now comfortable with playing their own game and actually elevating the profile of Nigerian basketball. I actually saw the game where we played against Germany. It was a tie-to-tie game. I mean, there were many runs. Nigeria made a run. Germany made a run. We did blow I think we blew a 10-point lead. Jordan Wara was actually the man of the match because he was just scoring without, without conscience, and, I think Nigerian basketball is on its way up. Hopefully we can maintain that level and not go back to the corruption that we're known for. And the women also, unfortunately, they didn't let the Ogumike sisters play. I think if the Ogumike sisters played, Nneka and Chinenye, I think if they had played, we would have absolutely won the gold medal. But the powers that be would not let them play for Nigeria because they've been American for so long, which to me was ridiculous. But, it is what it is.
The women are playing tonight, though. I'm going to be watching it. Will you be watching it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One of the sisters is actually playing. I think her name is Erica Ogumike. She was allowed to play because she hasn't been involved in the United States basketball for some time. But I'm still hurting and I'm still angry that the other two sisters were not allowed to play because I strongly believe that if they were allowed to play, would have been gold medalists in women's basketball in the world.
Wow, that's amazing. Looking at now, well, do you have any exact date you'll be fighting next, or you just waiting and exploring your options for now?
I do have an
how many times are you fighting this year? Once, twice?
this year I already fought 4 times, which is a lot for a pandemic period. You know, the goal was to fight 8 times this year, but right now we might have to settle for 6 or 7. I'm not going to be fighting the month of August. That's not going to happen because I just kind of want to take the month off and just focus on work and other things and family and other things. And I'm trying to get back into the ring September. I believe September 22 or 25, one of those Saturdays. I believe it's September 25. In South Carolina. I'm going to try to get in the ring on that one. I don't have the details of what the opponent will be like yet. And I'm also going to be in the ring again in November 6th of 2021. Possibly also in December. And, then we just kind of go from there. But that's about it.
Thanks a lot. I do appreciate you being here, and really, it's been fun so far. I mean, I don't want to let you go, but I have to because it's time for you to do some other things as well. What is your your message to Nigerians watching right now, to Africans watching, and to boxing fans in general?
Just keep the faith. Things are gonna get better. We can't give hope on our country. I know things are not what we expect it to be or where it's supposed to be. Use the power that you have and demand more out of your leaders and demand more in terms of accountability. We also have to remember that in as much as we like to blame the government for everything, we are the government. The people, democracy is government of the people, for the people and by the people. And we make the government. The corruption that we all yell that is by the government, we are corrupt in our own little ways, and just let's try to treat each other with some level of respect and decency, And, I hope our country gets better we just pray that only good news comes out of our country from now on, and let's try to make our country proud in the little way that we can and treat our brothers the right way. And that will extend to, that will extrapolate itself. That makes sense.
Yeah, we still have 2 years left before before something fresh and new coming. So,
Two long years at that.
You said what?
2 long years.
Well, we can, like I said, let's try to use the power that we have and demand more. Because at the end of the day, the government, they are employees, they're not our employers, and we have to demand better from them. And also let's try to be better people ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we are the government. There are more people in Nigeria waiting to steal that are stealing.
That's true. That's true.
Absolutely true.
That's the problem.
Problem. Wahala day is what. Wahala day. Okay. Your message to Boxing Block Center fans. Yeah.
Well, Boxing Block fans, keep watching. Obviously, Raymond here has done a good job of building his profile to help us and give us our own level of credibility and popularity. And we appreciate what he's done for Nigerian boxing. Though to him it might be small, but to the boxers it's a big thing because we don't. People like, I would say maybe me and Afe or any other smaller Nigerian boxers, wherever they are in the world, they wouldn't really have any level of media coverage if not for these guys and what they do. Though they see it as a small thing, we actually know it's kind of a big thing, And just keep watching, keep supporting, keep following. I mean, it's to click follow is not hard. In this social media, they don't pay us like that. They use our collect money. So to follow somebody should not be that hard. If I follow you today, it doesn't take away from the money I'm supposed to earn. So the least you can do for stuff like this is just click a follow, click a like, or click a subscribe. And I mean, it's information that you can choose to ignore or choose to accept, but the least you can do is just follow and have the option to, watch and subscribe and like or, appreciate. So that's all I gotta say. Also follow me on Instagram,
Yeah, follow Raphael Akpejiori on Instagram right here. We need to get you to 10K though. You need to, 10K. And also your account need to be verified. Your page need to be verified. Like so many things you can do to verify.
I don't really care about all those stuff, you know. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
the
he
people
has to
that
be.
follow
He
me,
has to be because you're a celebrity right now. Like you've been a celebrity or since age 20, right? You've been
it's 16.
age 16. Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
So it's like it's time. It's time for it to be verified.
That time will come. It'll happen when it's supposed to happen. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, the least you can do is click a follow button. We're not they collect money for this social media thing. So yeah, man, just support, like, appreciate us, and one day we can hopefully make y'all proud.
All right, guys, you heard it from our brother, Raphael, the Nigerian Hurricane Akpejiori. I want to say thanks to each and every one of you for supporting this channel right here. For those of you guys who are liking the video right now, keep liking it, keep sharing it, and here is where you get the latest news and authentic ones as well. Isioma, do you have anything to add to it, brother?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Ralph a great day. By the way, I've been following you for a while. I think I started following you before I got to meet Brian Raymond, before I got to know Boxing Block Center. And as such, yeah, it's so heart-thumping to know that we have Nigerians dominating combat sports now. We can only hope that in the boxing scene, in the heavyweight now, we will have Nigerians having their waist, strapped with practically all of the sanctioning belts. It will be such a great feeling that you cannot put words to. Thank you so very much for gracing this interview. You're very personable, I must tell you, and I do pray that you rise to the very top of the division.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the good wishes. I appreciate you for your time and all your efforts. And keep following, and I thank you for supporting.
So, guys, you heard it from the Nigerian Hurricane. God bless you all, and stay blessed, guys. Cheers.
Keep burning up.
Master Chef.
Any boy that want take with me and from me, God think twice, I can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug, and for certain she not gonna leave. Yeah, she stuck to me. Yeah, she not gonna leave my girl, she choosing me. Every I strike like Benzema, bend it like Ronaldinho. Plenty man on you like Cantona. Me, I go save you like a Nyama. Girl, you know you're extraordinary. Body so tight, you don't need no tummy talking. And it's only me, she calling papi. And you can only catch me with the foreign. She foreign like Mercedes. Hope the steering drive me crazy. Red light and she still wanna go. Pay the daughter me times 2. She not really said nobody. She hitting on my line, she needing company. I mean, listen up close. You gon' be safe with me tonight. Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl think twice, I can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug, and for certain she not gonna leave. Yeah, she stuck to me. Yeah, she not gonna leave my girl, she choosing me every time. For certain, already on my way to the curtain. Oh, I love it. You start to help me under the button, so sexy girl, say you know my style. So you have to make me want it, and I never leave you. Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl think twice, I can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug, and for certain she not gonna leave. Yeah, she stuck to me. Ah, yeah, she not gonna leave my girl, she choosing me every time. Fire brigade, I need someone to come extinguish this fire. Get you burning up, and I gotta cool you down. Fire brigade, I need someone to come extinguish this fire. Get you burning up, and I gotta cool you down. Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl, think twice, you can't take my girl from me. I'ma get addicted to my love, and it's like a drug, and for certain she not gonna leave. Ah, yeah, she stuck to me. Ah, yeah, she not gonna leave my girl, she choosing me every time. Any boy that want take with me and from me, girl, think twice, you can't